Good morning. I was talking yesterday about your man eating the guest's food. And all day yesterday, I had to think about this and because there's a rational order of the universe. So I had to think, what is the reason for this? What is the reason for this? Because I don't even blame you, man. I just look straight past him. And I look and I say, what the fuck? You know what I mean? What the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? But you have to understand the reason behind this. So I thought about. And I remember, when the little one came, I said to her, this is a jungle. Be a lion. Anything you want from the fridge, take. You know what I mean? Just take. Take anything you want, And I said to her, I'm a lion. Anything I want, I take. Anything from that fridge that I want, I take. Like, I don't get paid or anything else, but I do clean the whole place and keep the place clean. So I'm going to feed myself. Like, I'm not going to not feed myself, but I'm not going to beg either. I'll take, I'm not going to be dominated by waiting for scraps from anybody's table. I'll take what I fucking well want myself, and this is how it's been my philosophy. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be reduced or dominated by a need. You know what I mean? I don't need anything, and the reason I don't need anything is because I'll take it. And I said to the little one, be a lion. Be a lion. This is a jungle. Be a lion. Now, when your man then was eating the guest's food, I was sort of laughing to myself and said, Jesus Christ, not quite like that, not quite to that extent. But at the same time then I had to say to myself, well, this is sort of like Kant's categorical imperative, you know what I mean? How can I say to the little one, be a lion, and the same doesn't apply to him? And the same does apply to him in actual fact, the same does apply to him. And that's what I say, I'm not going to try and dominate him, or try and control him, or try to tell him, I'll do this, but you can't do this. But no, I said to myself, I had to think about it, and then I had to think about Kant's categorical imperative, and I had to say to myself, well, do I want to change? What sort of a place do I want here? Because, this is sort of like as I said before, a microcosm of my manifesto. So I could say to myself, what exactly is my manifesto, and I may fine-tune it. But really, this is where it comes, it's sort of like Marx's Communist Manifesto, theory and practice, theory and practice, theory and practice. And we have to sort of factor in the whole thing. Now, I was saying before, the dominance hierarchy, we'll have to try and do away with the dominance hierarchy, but I think I'm going to have to rethink this, because lower animals have to be farmed. So I'm going to have to rethink the whole dominance hierarchy thing. I might have to agree with Peterson. I might have to take a little bit of Peterson, you know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to do a completely different system to Peterson, because I still say there are no rules, and I'm not looking to make any rules. But the whole thing is, when we're talking about Kant's categorical imperative, I said to myself, do I want to normalise this all? Do I want to go to the fridge and say, oh, I may think of everybody else, I'll just have a little bit, and I'll think of everybody else? Or when I'm drinking a drink, do I have to say, oh, I better not drink too much because I don't think I want to lead by example? I will lead by example. I'm going to be a fucking lion. I'm not going to be a sheep. I'm not going to be, you understand? I'm not going to be a sheep. I'm not going to apply Kant's categorical imperative. Everyone can do what the fuck they want. Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is, then I said to myself, well, the Buddhists say that detachment attachment is the root of all suffering. Attachment is the root of all suffering. And they're right. And the thing is, if I don't detach from the hostel, so when I arrived here Christmas Eve, the universe said to me, this is your hostel. And I said, I don't want it. And for about 3 or 4 days, it said to me, take it. And I said, I don't fucking want it. I don't want it. This is detachment. But if I had to attach this hostel and try and control this hostel now, which is not within my power, because in my current means, it's not within my power to take this hostel. So it's a case of using reason and focusing what exactly is with it. It's a hypothesis, but how live is this hypothesis? And in my current situation, it's not really a life hypothesis. It would be nearly, It wouldn't have been a good idea to try and take it. And this is reason. So I said, I don't want it. Now, I detached from the hostel. Now, I will detach from the hostel because when I see him eating the guest food, I said to myself, will I change? And I said, no, I won't. I'll detach from the hostel. And then he can do what the fuck he likes. It's not my hostel. I don't have to give two fucks. You know what I mean? It's not my hostel. I don't have to give two fucks. But I'm not going to detach from everything. No, because you have to decide, like, you know, what you want to take responsibility for. Because again, I'm going to sort of side with Peterson a little bit here. At some point, you have to say to yourself, well, I'm not going to detach from everything. I'm going to take responsibility for this. This is conducive to the goal. This is not conducive to the goal. What is conducive to the goal? And it's not conducive to the goal, to this hostel, like to try and take this hostel. I'll learn from it and I'll use it to fine tune my manifesto and to see, you know, well, what will work and what will not work. But one thing I don't want, like, you know, I said to myself, do I want this sort of a communal living, this sort of communist thing? And I said to myself, no, I don't. I want a meritocracy. And this is where the sort of dominance thing comes in and the competence thing comes in again. I want a meritocracy. And that basically means we're not all equal. Fuck that. We're not all equal. And again, I'm going to have to agree with Peterson. I'm not for an egalitarian society. I'm absolutely against this. I'm confidence hierarchy, dominance hierarchy, and transcendence hierarchy. Now, Peterson doesn't really bring in the transcendence hierarchy. He's all confidence hierarchy, dominance hierarchy. But I'm going to have to take a little bit of Peterson. Like, I'm going to have to take, now, I don't agree with everything he says. As I say, there are no rules. Because to make rules, but then again, lower animals have to be farmed. But I have no interest in the lower animals. Actually, the lower animals can fuck right off and stay with the hierarchy that they're in. They can stay in the dominance hierarchy. They can stay in the established systems that there are. I want to take people who think for themselves. Warriors, strong. And basically that means I think I'll sort of form an alliance with the little one and I'll teach the little one myself. I'll teach the little one and the rest of them can go fuck themselves. Because, you know, it's all lads and that is conducive to my goal. Matriarchy as opposed to patriarchy. So I'll teach the little one myself. Like, you know, like someone said to her yesterday, you know, oh, you should clean, it's good for your mind to clean, you know, start doing some work. And I said to her, you know, you don't lift your hand around here. You don't have to lift your hand. Fuck them. But basically, I said, you know, if they move you, I go. But then nobody's going to clean the place. Now I'll clean the place. And I don't mind cleaning the place. But she doesn't have to do shit. And, yes, she doesn't have to do shit. They can fucking clean it themselves. I'll clean it or they can clean it themselves. But I'll find balance that way. But no, she won't be cleaning it. But basically, yeah. So, like, really, what we have here is we have binary opposites. And really, when it comes to these binary opposites, this is why they say to me, you know, like the lad that sort of like there's two of us, sort of looking after the place and minding the place, but he's very much kill the ego. And I said, no, I won't be killing any ego. I'm rather attached to my ego and I'm going to stay attached to it too. And then when the Buddhists say, oh yeah, but that's going to cause you suffering, And I said, yeah, but I sort of like suffering, like. I have no problem suffering. In a sick sort of way, I enjoy it. And this is sort of like the bodybuilding, you know what I mean? Flagellation, I used to call it, flagellation. It's like when they used to come into my gym, I used to say, remember you're here to hurt yourself. And you have to be willing to hurt yourself and you have to be willing to suffer if you're going to learn or if you're going to evolve. And if you want to really live. Because even he says to me, I'm like this, you know. I've constant, you know. And I said, no, fuck that. I don't like that. I want to do this. AC current, DC current. But I rather AC current, you know what I mean? And then I was talking about the scarcity mindset. Because this is something I had to think about yesterday as well. And I remember like when we were running out of Jack's roll, I gave the little one a full roll. I said, here, we're running out of Jack's roll, you mind that. Now that's scarcity mindset. But do I want to not do that? And I say, no, I absolutely don't mind the scarcity either. When I have it, I have it, and when I don't, I don't. It's just fucking grand. But I'm not going to, I don't give two fucks. If I have it, I have it, and if I don't, I don't. I'm not going to hanker after anything. I'm not going to, but at the same time, fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, fuck them. Like, I know I come on here telling you about love everybody and everything, but I'll tell you one thing, there has to be balance. You have to remove your head from your arse as well. You have to play the game. You know what I mean? You have to play the fucking game. And really, when you play the game, there has been interpretation of opposites, and you have to choose sides. But if you're going to think you're going to play this game where you kiss everybody's arse, fuck that. No. Make yourself a sheep and the wolves will eat you. And it's that simple. It's that simple. It's all sort of what game do you want to play, and I'm the game changer, and I'm the one making the rules. And it's all about making your own rules and deciding. I'll decide the game, but I'm not going to play their game, I'm going to play my game. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to have but yet there's no need for any anger, any jealousy, any negative emotions. We just use reason, and you just gently play chess. But you know what I mean? Play chess. You move, I move. You move, I move. And it's like your man eating everything out of the fridge. I'll just stand back and detach from the hostel, detach from this experience, because if I was to say take responsibility for the hostel, which I don't have to take, I clean the toilets. I clean the fucking toilets. And when I stay cleaning the toilets and I keep this humility, I don't have to give a fuck what he eats out of the fridge or doesn't eat out of the fridge, or I don't have to give a fuck how your man feels about it either. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to stress because I don't have to worry about the reviews. I don't have to worry about, because it's not my goddamn hostel. I'm free. You know what I mean? I'm not attached to the hostel. But like I said, that doesn't mean I'm going to detach from everything. Like because you can't be afraid. Like, I've attached to the ego, and I'm going to attach to other things as well. And stand back from your life and find balance. It's that simple. But I think you get the message. You have to evaluate life for yourself and make your own choices and make your own decisions. But don't let anybody you see all these kill the ego and all this. You have to think for yourself. And you have to say to yourself, what sort of life do I want to live? But it's not this one. A utopia is not my ideal. I rather like the jungle, you know. Welcome to the jungle. And as I said to the little one, this is a jungle. Be a lion. And that's my game, and that's the way I like it, and that's the way it's going to stay, because that's conducive to the evolutionary process. Good morning.